Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2025 ski test. Today we're talking about the Fischer Ranger 102. Back again for another season, just a cosmetic update to this ski. I love it because I feel like they're paying homage to the old pink ski, that Ranger 102 FR. Decent amount of people were kind of bummed when that ski went away. I think this is a phenomenal ski, this newer Ranger 102. I don't think I've been shy about sharing that it works really well for me. Interestingly, we do find some people that don't like it as much as I do, particularly just here inside our company. I really like it. It works great for how I like to ski. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to work as well for Bob. And I generally see some amount of the variety in the feedback in our ski test too. So head on over to the results page and definitely you can kind of see some thoughts from different skiers. And as always, keep in mind what length people are skiing, their size, their skiing style, all that stuff plays into it. Ski performance is very subjective, and our job here at Ski Essentials is to basically give you as many tools as we can to make educated decisions about what's going to work well for you. But yeah, the ski itself isn't 100% pink, but that base is sure pretty darn pink. And it's kind of cool. They like alter the colors per ski. So this ski actually has a purple base with a pink graphic and vice versa on the other ski. So I think it's cool. You also have this kind of more muted, more monochromatic option over here. Fischer is basically just making two different colors in all the Ranger skis, not like a men's color and a women's color, just two choices, and you can pick whichever one you want. So yeah, it changed quite a bit when it went from the Ranger 102 FR to this current Ranger 102. I think most people are familiar with the changes. Overall, it just kind of became more of a directional all-mountain / freeride ski and a little bit less of a twin tip. There is a little bit of freestyle influence here, but not that much. And now for 2025, we've got like a full line of nightstick skis that are true twin tips. So it's kind of nice. Fischer has given a place for all the Ranger 102 skiers to go, whether you're landing here or you're landing at that Nightstick 104. Beech and poplar wood core in this ski. Starting with the 96, all the wider Rangers use that combination of beech and poplar, and then that same shaped TI laminate. In the 102, it's relatively short. It's almost like just underfoot, but it is longer, and it extends kind of into these wings like we see in all the Rangers. Narrower skis get just longer and longer metal. Then we get that flex cut, little groove cut in underfoot, just give it a little bit more sweet spot. And I really like the way that they build these skis. And it's definitely something that you see in the feedback. They're very smooth, a lot of vibration damping in them, even though it's only a partial laminate of metal. I think a big reason for that is the flex pattern helps a lot too. And without getting too far ahead of ourselves, I've always thought that this is kind of like a blank canvas type of ski, where you as the skier need to take it and tell the ski what you want it to do, what you want it to be, how you want it to feel, because the people that tend to not like it find that it's just a little bit too smooth or too damp. So if you're kind of used to a ski with a lot of like rebound and energy that kind of encourage you to ski in a certain way, you might not find a home here. But on the other side of that spectrum, I can take it and just like do whatever I want on it, and the ski is extremely compliant. So I love that aspect of this ski. 169 centimeters in length here, and we are at 1,800 grams almost exactly. So they're not light. This is a relatively short-ish length, and it's still coming up at a decent weight here. So if you're looking for a purely lightweight ski in the 102 range, this might not be it. I think it works really well for what this ski is intended to be, because it kind of strikes a nice balance between being reasonably agile and maneuverable, but also stable. And then I talked about the flex pattern and how it contributes to how smooth this ski is. It's a pretty round, supple flex pattern. So it's not stiff by any means. The narrower Rangers are certainly stiffer. And I think what happens is with this flex pattern and with some metal, it really absorbs just variations in the snow conditions very, very nicely. So just a true testament to the ski. But yeah, again, not like crazy responsive or crazy energetic. Looking at the shape, so that Ranger 102 FR from years past was really a true twin tip. This still has a good amount of rides back here. And when you look at this ski next to the Ranger 96, there's considerably more splay. And to be perfectly honest, if they continued this curve and made it into a more of a rounded tip, I think to you and I, it would look like a twin tip. And just the fact that they kind of hack off the end there definitely gives it a more directional vibe. And then a good amount of tip rocker up here in the 102. That's actually fairly similar to the length of tip rocker in the 96. But overall, this ski has more of a shape that's geared towards softer snow, but still some camber underfoot. So it's pretty cool. The big thing that made this ski less directional than the 102 FR, or more directional than the 102 FR, less of a twin tip, is the placement of this metal. So because it's a singular metal laminate that's a partial length, and they have it kind of shifted back, not like dead center of the ski, it does mean that you can't like play around with mount point too much, where on the old Ranger 102 FR, you had a lot of people kind of moving their bindings forward just to make it a little bit more twin tippy. So those are all the ingredients of this ski. Again, I love it. I find it just has like a really nice blend of attributes on a groomer. I think it makes really nice turns. I actually really like the way that this shovel engages. You know, it's not like crazy stiff up here. So I find that I can bend it into a really cool, round, relatively short carving turn, and it handles it really well. And then I actually like tend to size down in this ski, which would be interesting to really look at the lengths that people tested in our test. And I would venture a guess that a handful of people might have been better off on a shorter length. I generally go with the 176, and I absolutely love it. It's like super, super quick here in the trees in Vermont. It never feels catchy. It just feels very, very supple. That, to me, is a word that always comes up to describe the Ranger 102 here. And then, like I said, I can get on a groomer and like truly rip some turns. I played around with its park potential, and there's not much there where the previous ski had plenty. But it's some, you know, if there's enough rise back there, 100% to ski backwards. It's more just the weighting and the balance of it. It's not feeling too perfectly balanced when you're in the air or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I truly love this ski. It is one of my favorite like directional freeride skis. For me, I often gravitate towards twin tips. And then that leaves this ski to kind of be more of like a purpose-built tool, or like a purpose-designed tool. And yeah, I don't know. That probably doesn't make any sense, but I really like it. Generally, when I get on a directional ski like this, I'm reminded that directional skis ski better in a directional format than twin tips, and maybe that's part of it. But yeah, every time I ski it, I have a really good time. I know a lot of people here in Stowe that love it. When I travel, I tend to see a decent amount out west too. I see a lot of 108s out west as well. So yeah, that's the Fischer Ranger 102. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we will see you out there on the slopes.